Good morning, my people. How are you today? Remember, it's what we call the Random Cat Talk Thursday. Someone here has a monster car. I want to see it. Yanganga agenda kunsabire moroka naye baba. Wenajifuna. Never navuga mu kilometer bizo kazoka ngenda kuba neyagadde. But how did you guys sleep? I hope you guys slept well. And I hope your morning is okay. It seems like it's going to rain almost everywhere. It should. It has been too hot the past couple of days. But how is your day? Today is Random Cat Talk Thursday, and I still don't understand why people put metal guards on Toyota wishes. Yeah, I still don't get it. I even saw someone putting a guard on the new Valvematic Kawondo, the Harrier. I still don't get it. I was entering the road today morning. Now, you saw the Rumion guy refused, the Range Rover guy accepted. So it's us people that be driving cheap cars that don't want people to enter in front of us. But the people that drive expensive cars, SPK driving school and part the Omukono. Thank you very much, SPK driving school. Kamuisize wa karango. Na wagamba SPK driving school erikanyanya ku gas. You go to gas as from Kampala after gas, the flat that is after gas. That's where SPK driving school is. Okumukono gwa gas gonyine. If you're coming from Pelerwe, the Kakarina akali before gas. Katwe mara ngangena nywa yogurt. Atecho nacho. But I hope your morning is okay, guys. Today we simply talk about cars. We don't ask questions. If you have a question, bring it in conversation form. Bring it in conversation form. Let me give you an example. If you want to ask me, for example, you want to ask me, Arthur, is Toyota Vitz creative? That question should be asked tomorrow. But if you can't wait till tomorrow, bring a chibozi like that, like this. Arthur, naguze Vitz naye sigitegera bulungi. Goroza omuntu yali badajivugira banga ki. Something like that. Chibozi. Bring chibozi and we go on. But I hope you guys are doing well today. I just wanted to talk about the routines that I go through, and I think everyone should go through, especially if they drive their car every day. Now, me, for example, today alone, I've so far done, I think I've done about 40 kilometers today alone. Over 30 something so far. I've done 40 something. And for me, that's like my daily mileage in the morning only. Because I've already driven from Matuga to the bypass to the express, and see, I'm in Machindia now. Linda. I'm in Machindia right now, so you can imagine the distance I've driven, and I'm okay. And I just wanted to for us to talk about the morning routines that I go through, that everyone should literally go through, because the days I've not gone through the same routines, I've literally had trouble. And I've seen people have, like today on the express, I found someone over Toyota Wish, the new one, yeah? It overheated. Now, majority of the time when a car overheats, apart from we can accept that, yes, a car can overheat when the fan fails, yeah? But sometimes the car will overheat when there is no coolant in the radiator, yeah, and the reserve tank. Sometimes it will overheat. Other times, it will overheat if you have a leakage on the cooling system. Like if you have a leakage on the radiator, or you have a leakage on, and these are things that we can see over time. Yeah, like when I had just got this car from the bond, one of the things I noticed is that water coolant was reducing. Okay, I kept topping up water until I examined it, because I saw like, okay, for a couple of days, water was reducing. I kept putting water in, was reducing. And then I examined it one morning. I realized it was the same amount of coolant that reduced, which means this coolant was reducing at certain times. Now, normally when you have a leakage on your car, as okay, Mugalasi Joshua Mixed Farm, to see me Eddie John's info, Ngabi with the markets today. I hope you guys are doing well. King Daniels, Nakate Christine, Louis, George Bob, MK Dental Hub, happy 2025. Funny Lifestyles, Michael UG, Paul Sema VIP, Hussein Nubuwat, Al Rahim Nation, Lucky Mose, Murad K Momo VIP, SPK Driving School VIP, Kanyanya, Augustine Blues, Mukundane, Gideon, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Ozamo Santu, Ivan Kayuchi, Juma Ali, and Mulamig. I hope you guys are doing well. So let me talk about the overheating issue. So if your car is overheating and the fan is working intactly, and this you can also examine. The fan, you can also check if it's working. The easiest trick for you to check if your fan works properly is turn your engine on and let it run for some good time. When the water reaches the optimum temperature, the fan will turn itself on automatically and then it will go off automatically. Now, in new cars like this car of mine, apart from the fact that the engine has a very strong vibration, you may not be able to hear the fan turning on. So for you to inspect this, you might actually have to stop driving, stop somewhere and just stand in front of the car. You will feel the fan turning on, and that's how you know that your fan is actually working. Now, to further see if it's working optimally is to actually see the speed that it's working at. But normally, the fan will turn on, cool the water, and then turn off. That's the fan that is on automatic. Now, when your car overheats once, your mechanics will advise you to put it on direct. Accept towakana ate moroka tejirechi. Moroka yachamuse kati the best course of action kujiteka ku direct ebenga tejja kuddamu kola ki kuchamuka. So after the overheating the fan thing, now these are the things that I normally do, and I'm going to share one by one when you meet because there are not so many and we have a full hour to talk. We have a full hour to talk. So when I wake up in the morning, now let me just tell you what I do the previous night. You see, when I go home, and these days I try to go home early whenever I can, because era ngenda kusoma, and the days then soma mva class sawa satu. That's late, yeah. Atembera wala. So whenever I can even leave work at 2:30 when I can. So yesterday we had an inspection of the Toyota. If some of you guys have seen it, I've posted it. 7 million. I'm going to share that story as well. So me, when I go back home, before I even enter my house, the first thing I do is wash my car. I wash my car every day. Now, so that I'm mukono every day. I remember I told you I have a jet spray gun. So when I go home, immediately when I go home, the first thing I do is turn on the switch, get the machine, turn on the tap, and then I spray my car with water. And I do that for like 10 minutes and it's clean. And then if my car is dirty inside, I get to wipe it and I'm done. And then I go into my house and I exercise. If I have exercise planned for that day, I lift my weights, and after lifting my weights, I shower and do whatever work I have to do or sleep. I love sleeping early because I wake up very early. But you realize that my car took first priority the moment I got home. And this is something I developed when I was still driving mine na Mokadea. I used to take my kids to school, and my car was one of the oldest cars there. And I could not stand having my car as the oldest and also the dirtiest. So I started washing my car like every day to make sure that when I go to my kids' school, I didn't have they never felt like, you know what, that this car is dusty or it's dirty, and of course it's old. So I started that routine when I was driving my Namokade. So I would go back home and wash my car every day before I did anything. So I still do that every day. Now, in the morning when I wake up, and I'm done dressing, I get my bags and go to my car. And one thing that you guys should always inspect first is to see if nothing has been stolen on your car. Yesterday we were in class and we were chatting, and then one of my students was telling me, you know what, Arthur? Twafune Dembe. And I asked him, can you walk at midnight without looking around? And he was angaz. Like, I've been to Europe, I've been to the US, I've been to, I even went to Brazil. And in those countries, you can walk at midnight and not be worried about being attacked. At least the places I was. And that was common. But me, in Uganda, like if I stop at my gate, I keep the engine on. I keep the engine on and the windows up. And I'm always looking around waiting for someone, a thief, a robber that wants to disturb me so that I can show them what I'm made of. Wait. Wait, guys. Did I go backwards? Did I? I think this is it. So, in the morning, the first thing I'm going to check is to check and make sure that nothing has been stolen on your car, because the chances are high that stuff has been stolen. Even you guys that park your cars in public parking lots, yeah, check side mirrors, the tiny lights on your fenders, yeah. Check to see if your lights are still intact. Check to see if your wheel caps are there, if your car still has wheel caps. Yeah, check the body to see if there are any damages, if someone was parking and they scratched your car or something, so that you can complain when it's still early. Yeah, and for you guys that park in the parking lots, in the public parking lots, even the catalytic converters can be stolen from there, by the way, because the guy has an entire night to do whatever he has to do. Yeah, so when you turn your car on, for example, let me get there later. So after you have inspected the body and figured that my car body is still intact, the next thing you're going to do is check your tires. Make sure the tires, for the people that park in public parking lots, of course, you're going to make sure that the tires you left on the car are still the tires on the car. Yes, you want to make sure that the tires you left on the car are the tires on the car, because in public parking lots, the guy has an entire night to switch tires. So you want to make sure the tires you left on the car are still the tires on the car. 2, you want to make sure your tires have pressure. Omukanga mweguli. Now, I remember one time I was still driving my Corolla. Was it the Primo? I think it was the Primo. I started the car normally. And I started driving backwards, like getting out of the gate. I realized the car was dragging, and I thought of Emoroke, but at the time I didn't really pay attention. And then, yeah, we turned, I closed the gate, and then we drove. And when we drove, I realized it wasn't really moving very well. And why wasn't it moving very well? I later realized the car was tilted on one end. I did not have pressure. That is something, and by the time I realized it, I had already wasted time thinking to myself, remember when your car doesn't have pressure in one of the wheels, it will drag to move. So I had already wasted time trying to think until I realized. And just at that moment, I started looking for the jack, and the jack was not working properly and all that, you get. So I struggled a lot because then I was panicky. But when I realized if I woke up, I wake up, I get to my car normally at 4:30 there. I realized that if only I had gotten to the moment I got into the car and checked if my tires had pressure, I would have had time to actually change to a spare tire. But because I did not, now I was panicking. So always check your tires, yeah? Check your tires and see if you have pressure. Let me see some of these comments here. If you ask a question, I'm not answering. Kandabe, Mulamik, Billy Crown, Chairman Zach, Henry Modern Juice, Viola Namiro, Travel Live Vlog, Tessa David, Chris Fitness Lubudwa. Chris Fitness Obakabwatu Semukama Wange. I have a question, please. Help me out how to go about a partner without or lacks financial discipline and sometimes making decisions excluding you, most importantly regarding children. Banange ekibuzo kya Joseph mukiddemu ekibuzo kya Joseph naye bannange kajjambi n'ebitalo biraba ebitala bino ekimu ku bitutawaanya abantu kuta following a traffic lights. When the light turns orange, stop. Now it's orange, I'm going to stop. The issue is when it turns orange and we don't stop, even the other people will not stop when that light turns orange, and then we'll have a lot of chaos. And I'm also wondering where the traffic officers are at moments like this. Okay, Joseph Bali Kudemba abuuza, how does he handle a partner who lacks financial discipline and sometimes makes decisions excluding, most importantly, regarding the children? Some things I said them and they are really tough. Yeah, Joseph, the first thing I would tell you, if this person makes decision about children without involving you, first go for DNA. Take the kids for DNA. You need to be sure those kids are yours, because if you're not involved in kids with decisions that are to do with your kids, then you can ask them if the kids are actually yours. I think for me, that's the first thing I'll do. I'll ask them, okay, am I their father? Because if I'm their father, I should be involved in the decisions that have to do with them. Ngabi the FX trader, Oba Ngabi with markets today talk about digital number plates. I have mixed feelings. I used to think that the digital number plates is the plate itself that has the chip. Apparently, the digital number plates are still plates like the normal ones that GM Tampeco used to make. And if GM Tampeco made number plates like these ones, and then they have to install an actual tracker in your car. Now these plates, we can only see how they work after we have seen them at work. I'm telling you, because if they have to install a tracker in your car, an actual tracker, like the trackers Arthur sells, from what I've seen, these guys are actually putting trackers like the trackers Arthur is selling to you. And then it makes it vulnerable when this number plate has to be installed by the government contractor. You get it? But the company that makes the number plates has to install the number plates itself. So I don't know how effective that is. If a car goes, the fact that they have to put a tracker, if the car goes through water, what happens? Tracker and gefa. This place is very inefficient, yeah? I don't know how they are going to maneuver this. Now, the people that are coming from the other side are actually also struggling. Now, it's a lot of struggle here. Yeah, it's a lot of struggle. But still, the movement is here. The movement is still here. The movement is here. Rumion and Wish New Model, David. Please talk about it. Guys, double tap your screen to give us likes. Double tap the screen. Marlene Tikolevu, you are teleported to Africa. Yeah, you are teleported to Africa. Chris Da Vinci Chechiro Gilbert Atumanya, how are you? So it's Random Car Talk Thursday, and I'm talking about the habits that people should have, especially if they drive their car every day. If you drive like me, my car drives every day. Like this week, every day I'm going to be moving. Yeah, I'm not even going to oversleep on Sunday. Sunday I might actually get up earlier than during the week. Yeah. So, but for people that drive every day, those are the things that I'm talking about. Jam. After Aine Josh Mon, I have seen Alphard and drone hybrids. Do you think they are reliable? If they are reliable, if they were reliable, they would actually be with the car hires. I've tried to hire hybrids. None of the car hiring companies actually has hybrids in their system. So the hybrids are not as reliable as we want to think. The hybrids are not as reliable as we want to think. That's why these car hirers don't hire them. But I think I would give it a try. The first things first, hybrids, motors don't die. It's the batteries that die. You can buy batteries at as little as onavuze one way ogola boy. Avuze one way. Ate yekaza. Omuntu avuga one way ne yekaliza mu sirikale. Kyeka abasirikale bwe beetaaga batyo. Motors don't die, batteries die. Batteries are replaceable, guys. It's just that the one-time investment, I mean the one lump sum, if you have to spend a lump sum of money, like 7 million on buying batteries, normally that's where the trouble comes in, yeah. But batteries are replaceable, so me, I have no problem with the batteries dying. It's just that when does it die? Because hybrids are already more expensive than normal cars to buy. So if hybrids are already more expensive than normal cars to buy, it becomes trouble. It becomes trouble because if I'm going to buy a normal car at 35 and I have to buy a hybrid at 45, yeah, and I have to buy a hybrid at 45, and then I buy a hybrid at 45 and the battery dies within a year, and I have to spend another 6 million buying a battery, which I'm not also sure will survive for the next other like 2 years. And also, if the hybrid is only giving me like 5 kilometers extra to what the normal car would give me, then the hybrid might actually not be what the investment. So, but that's a story for another day, guys. Rama charity organizations, the weather is about almost the same, like here. The sun is not sunning today. The sun is not sunning today. Kali. We are going to talk about the habits. We stopped with inspecting the tires, yeah? For the guys that don't know, this is Arua Park. So I think all these buses are going to Arua, and all these trucks, they are going to load like stuff going to Arua. Yeah. And for the guys that last came to Kampala 10 years ago, Shell, if you remember, this building here is at the place where we used to have a Shell. You remember? It has changed a lot, yeah? It has changed a lot. And new buildings are coming up almost all the time. Yeah. This is Arua Park. Arua Park. I'm thinking even all these places called Arua Park because all those trucks are going up country. I think some of them are going to like South Sudan, and then others are going to Gulu. I don't know. They said most of them are going to Arua. They have put plastic chairs oba balaga wa gwe kyobumanya nti bajjuza full board. And then down after these buildings here is a kikuubo kitegeera oyitamu obwo obuzimba obwo n'ogweri wansi mu kikuubo obuzimba obuyitamu. Yeah, but it's Random Car Talk Thursday. I'm going to talk about all the habits and then maybe bozi bya mubi muleta mulete bibozi. So we talked about you changing your tires. I mean, like checking your tires to make sure you have enough pressure, and sometimes you may actually just not have enough pressure. Now we take like for example, me now I have actually have two machines. The one that I showed you that has a jump starter, and then I also have one that I can put here in the cigarette thing, and then I pump air into my tires. And there are times I have had one of my tires like picked nails, and I had the nails in there for like a month before I had to, but it's because I kept checking, and I realized that, you know what, I think I have low tire pressure. So what I would do is I would keep pumping pressure in there until I finally got the time to go and have the tire worked on, because bagukuba chiso, which is very simple. But normally obudde obukyama ku mafuta okuba emmoroke okuba omupiira ogw'ekiiso oba obudde bwe bubula okitegeera, and normally that's where the trouble comes in. Okay, someone now desperately parks in my place. Atoli guy atamanyi ku parking abwe nabagambye mumujjukire. He still parks like he doesn't know how to drive. It's painful when a man doesn't know how to drive, and when a man does not know how to park, he definitely doesn't know how to drive. So this dude doesn't know how to drive. Kari, let's see. Network is superb. Isn't that the exiga ze watugana? Sibagana nga ukiziga. I was just telling you my side of the how I feel about the exiga. They say the plane itself has a chip in it. The plate itself has a chip in it. Even if you try to remove it, it creates a signal. Now, what if the plate falls? What if the plate falls? That's the thing. What if the plate falls? Arthur, my wife had you saying that Mama Aban wants to take your car, and now she also wants to take mine. Mbu, I should also buy another car for myself. Nsubugagule motoka. Nze najivuddeko ene motoka kati. Najivuddeko. Just nyina soka funa motoka yange. And I'm going to, the project car I get, that's my car. So it has to be an actual project. And I'm going to do a broadcast where I talk about what an actual project car should be like. Because I think we misunderstand the issue of getting a project car. It should be an actual project. It should be an actual project. But we're going to talk about that later. Kohari abiri kumi echo chibuzo gali wangu chirete ncha. Ngabi na exiga inakola mu funeral service. Kati the need digital number plate. Ejao ebya number plate eriko UBS. I'm telling you, the digital number plates take away baby into. Tugenda tandika gula condition. I'm going to wait Corolla na mukadege nafuna number plate later, a lot later. Women don't that thing totally turn off men, but kindly try to talk to her. If she can't change, then try to involve elders. Guys, never involve elders in on your things, guys. If you're a married couple, you should be able to solve your problems as a married couple. Guys, one thing I need you guys to know in relationships, and I'm not a relationship expert, but this is what I've seen. Every time I've seen people involve other people in their problems, their marital problems, it means the man has failed on his role as a leader. You as a man, you need to spell what you want. And The moment it fails to work with you, it means it's working with someone else. The one thing I've realized about Zenga Arthur, the one thing I've realized about chicks is that if a chick does not respect you, if a chick does not respect you, she respects someone else. If a chick does not listen to you, she's listening to someone else. If a chick does not do what you want, she's doing things that another person wants. That's how it is. Kati kitegeeza bw'aba atuuse ku eyo level ne bono involving maama we. That's how it is. You guys should be able to know that. You should, whatever problems you have, you should be able to solve them. Nga mmwe baaba bwe mwali mwekwana mwali aba bwe mbeera mbulira ekiro mbeera yaaba abaana baani abaana bange nze si ba maama waabwe yes ye yabazaala but there is a reason why they have my last name okitegeera. There is a reason why they have my family name. Anything that has to do with my kids goes through me. Okitegeera. Actually, it's like in your home. Nze wange tewali muntu akyalanga simanyi. Actually bansaba ni bwaba baganda ba mama bani bagenda kujja ankubira nangamba banange gundi ayagala kujja. Sometimes I even ask so and this is your home. I cannot host people without you knowing. Okitegeera, right? I find that for abasajja we need to take leadership seriously. You're the leader in your home. You should be here. Nikakati. I remember there is a time my kids went to their grandmothers, wa mama Aban. Nebasaraka abana bange envi. And I asked her, ani yabagamye musala abana bange envi. You guys, abana bange nze nsala wonti bakati babasali enviri bwe mbaleka bagende nga tebabasaze enviri baleke bwe batyo bange. Okitegeera, I find that era if someone is calling, if Mama Aban started taking decisions kubana bange without me knowing, I would definitely start asking how is the father of these kids. Okitegeera, because this is my bloodline. These boys are keeping my bloodline alive. Okitegeera, so I need to know what's going on. Like Aban wanted to be part of gymnastics club, and I asked him, Aban, you want to be part of gymnastics? What is gymnastics going to help us in the future? And he was angaz, and he said, oh, I'm able to do what? And I told him, no, I will pay for gymnastics club next term if you learn how to play the piano very well this term. So the condition is he has to join the music club and learn how to play the piano very well. If he learns how to play the piano very well, I know he won't be a professional. He won't be like expert. But next term, then I'll pay for the piano club and the gymnastics. I saw the mother like literally wanting to tell me, like, omwana ayagala biri naye ayagala biri bigenda tuyamba ki. Ontegeera, right? So I find that omusajja ati nze nga ndopa mama baninga mulopa wa. Okwali badenga okumulopa kumugamba va wange genda owulize gw'owuliriza. Arthur, how often do you add water into your radiator? I don't, because water should not be reducing. Or the coolant should not be reducing. Okitegeera. Oyinza okwesankale nga buli mwezi oyongerawo ko katono because it actually has a breather. Like if you drive it for a very long, the breather would actually take out some mist, which is totally normal. But if you realize that you're putting a lot of water, look for a leakage. Sometimes even the water pump itself leaks. So you look for a leakage. Arthur, no one can match your consistency with live streaming every day. And I'm thinking no one has less stress than me because katinze buli lunaku nkeera nenkola live broadcast. Ngenda okuva ku live broadcast nga stress ekendedde. Ng'obulamu mba awake otone bwe tuba tunatyange nomala live broadcasting otro tugenze. Arthur, this system of digital number plates, how shall we distinguish old cars? And you won't. You'll just buy a car in good. It's very good for us people that are inspecting cars. There is a way Kampala shines like a diamond. FTC, we are waiting for you. We make Kampala. By the way, FTC party bwe detwala obuyinza. Nga Antonio ye president waffe. Nze bagenda kumpa bwaki. Permanent Secretary Minister of Finance kirabika yo gyenjo okusobola. permanent secretary Ministry of Finance nga sogera nnyo naye nga akasente nze manya gye karaga. Brother, if you are not involved in the decisions about kids, definitely some other guy is involved. Thank you very much, boss dog. Any man, if your wife or your girlfriend or your baby mama doesn't involve you in the decisions that are to do with the kids she claims are yours, do DNA. Yes, she's involving someone else. The city is dirty banange. Nethani nampija Julie Augustine Bruce amangu ago machinje nyumba kubwa kitufu yayidde njagala kulaba nango babya ddala. Good morning Arthur, watching from Bahrain. How is Bahrain, Ivan? Arthur, every morning you go to Buziga. Why? Yeah, I go to Buziga to do some business there. I love the discipline of Ugandan drivers on the road in terms of following traffic rules. But do they? A very good morning, yes, Kim Job. Arthur, I lost my daddy. Sorry, Christine. Nga chitalo banangi. Christine mumunsasideko nga chitalo nnyo. Sorry. It must be painful to lose your dad when you can understand, yeah? And at the time, and I know how you girls can be. This is a time that normally you want to reward your dads and stuff like that. Sorry about your loss. May God rest his soul. Kim Job, Arthur, I'm still inquisitive about washing gadget you plug into the cigarette. Don't buy it. Guys, don't buy that car washing machine that you plug in the cigarette thing. They are not good. Don't buy. They are not powerful. They are not good. Buy the electric one. Me, I used it. It's not. It will work for like 2 months and it will start dying. Same under Raymond. Blues box parking. No, seen box parking. Augustine Blues. This guy just goes in reverse and he still can't put the car in the right place. It's painful when a woman drives a manual and a man automatic. Man, it's painful when a woman can drive better than a man. It's painful. Like men, driving used to be a man's thing. So when a man cannot drive, like there's a clip I saw of a guy, I think it was in the US, and he was involved in a road rage incident. And then the car that was in front of him tried to come to reverse into him. And then he went. And then I think the guy could not reverse properly. He went and turned and came towards him. And the guy was, oh. And then we were saying, what is wrong with this woman? But he was a man, clearly. But they are saying, why was he crying? Why was he shouting? Why isn't he fighting back? How are we going to differentiate between old cars and new cars in the upcoming election? That's where car inspection is going to be very crucial. Because now old cars are going to have newer number plates but then it will normalize after like 2 to 3 years. After everyone has gotten number plates, then we'll start differentiating again. But between now and that's 2027, between now and 2028, you just buy a good car. If you had new number plate, if you had new car, guys, double tap the screen. The person I'm seeing, aina mood swing. Kati atechirabika. Nze nkabya kajanya. Now my brothers, I'm still underage to advise married people. Just sit down and learn. Exactly. When she stops listening to you, she's definitely listening to another man. Jay Sekaja, good morning. Namira agambye Sekaja is phone and lost. Sekaja arabiseko olwalero. Even when he's to travel everywhere, she has to ask permission from you. As a man, you have to be in the lead all the time. Exactly. Well, a guy. Zedi musajja omuganda olipiwa omukazi takyalanga tangambye bwe ngana tagenda. And it seems Mama Aban's mother agrees with me. So extra good morning. Mama Aban's mother agrees with me. Mama Aban wagenda okukyala ewa mama we yamugobayo dewo omwami. Dewo omwami okitegeera. Kati ne Mama Aban alinga yategeera bw'akyala takyalwayo. Bw'akyala takyalwayo ndoza muli agamba ono omusajja simusanga nga awasizza. Aha. Viola Namiro, you are so lost. I asked about you last time. Viola amanyi okubeerawo wano. Amanyi okubeerawo. Arthur, thank you for the inspiration. I bought my first car course in 1995. Kulika medad kid. Stuart Max will talk about the new number plates. I have, but I'm going to do, let me research a little bit more so that I do a broadcast strictly about them. Probably on the weekend, yeah? Guys, likes are still small. Thank you. Double tap, guys. Double tap. I'm going to keep silent if you don't double tap and then we don't finish. Aha. under my roof, my rules. Ndi musajja muganda gere. Aha, Mugumya innocent. Greetings. How is Bushenyi? Guys, double tap. Just double tap like this. Screen jikone mbukonyi bwoti. Bwoti kona mbukonyi katono bwoti. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. Like you have to put a pin code or a password. Just double pa. So anyway, guys, I'm still talking about the routines that you go through. Nagambi, when you wake up in the morning and you go to your car, and you should go to your car before you're ready to go. So that in case you find any issue that has to do with your car, then you can fix it. Because also, you're rushing. What if you find that the side mirrors are gone and the tires are gone? Then what? But for me, I realize that if I get to my car and there is something I can't move probably, then I can call my cousin very quickly. So oba jangu ndete ku spare tire oba jangu okitegeera, so it's very easy for me to get help. Then after you have checked the tires and you're sure now the tires are okay, go open, pop the hood, bikura bonnet, check the oil level to make sure that the oil is not leaking, because if you the first time you get your dipstick out of the car, the level of the oil is actually most of the times accurate, but you can rub it off and put the dipstick back one more time and get there is full and empty. If it's at full or a little bit below full, then that's okay, you're good. Then check the coolant or the radiator water levels or coolant levels to see. Also, no kwata ko kukiseke wano. The pipe, ikinyiganyiga munora buba amazi mwegali. If the water is there and you're satisfied with the levels, then close. Okitegeera. And then probably you can also look around to see if there is any leakage, to see if your battery is okay and stuff like that. Then you can close. Now, normally me, when I do that and I've checked everything, the next thing I do is to start the car. Why are you starting the car before you're ready to go? One, you want to run the engine for some time so that it warms up. But also two, you want to make sure that in case there is a problem with the starting, now you have time to sort it out. There are times I used to get trouble with starting my car, and because I'm always early, then I can call the mechanic and tell him, there is a time kana akantu ko kulockinga steering we kanta wanya ku moroka yange. I could actually call the mechanic nangamba you had wire it. Before I figured out that it's because I would like, let me show you. So when I got home, look here. This is my steering, yeah? Now, normally when I would get home, I would turn off the engine and I would lock the steering manually. I would actually do this and lock. Now the steering is locked manually. See, it doesn't move. Now in the morning, if you lock the steering manually, this is a push to start car. If you lock the steering manually, this is something I discovered along the way. Now, if you lock the steering manually, when you come, now it has actually unlocked automatically, but in the morning it would refuse. I hadn't yet figured out that it's actually because I locked it manually. So I would come and it refuses. It did that for like a week. And because I kept asking myself, what's wrong with it? Then the mechanic told me over the shelf is what is wrong. And we actually, no, that's before we did that. And the steering was nothing was wrong. I checked the fuses. And there are times when I would check the fuses, I tap one fuse and the steering unlocks. I did not know that it was actually unlocking. So I would hardwire the car. I actually have some wires. Hardwire the car. Some of you guys don't even know what hardwiring the car means. So I actually have my wires here. See this? I put 2 wires to have strength. So I would actually hardwire my car. But what that helped me was that I did not get to fix things I did not have to fix. But all this happened because I would wake up early. And then over time, I realized that the car was, because I kept telling myself, this car is still new. Like it can't have a starting problem. And eventually, because I would tell Mama Aban, Genda yo worrying, and Mama Aban would sit here, and I would tell her, push the button. And then sometimes she would push the button and it will start. And other times it will not start. I kept asking myself, what's wrong with the car? What's wrong with the car? So I kept, like every time it would stop, I thought to myself, okay, now I have a solution. I'll continue hardwiring this car until I'm okay. So one time I come and I realize that, okay, the steering is still locked. I realize the steering is still locked. So I would push the button and the car doesn't stop. And then I remember the motor when it locks, you actually have to move the steering like this as you move the key as well in the ignition switch. So I did the same and it worked. I did it the next day and it worked. I did it the next day and it worked. And I say, oh, so all along I've been my own problem. And then, so you can imagine if I was waking up in a panic, I would actually be fixing things I didn't have to fix. But because I would always wake up very early, so you want to start your car and look at the dashboard. Now, when you start the car, when you put the switch of your car, there are lights that will come. There will come the engine check button, the engine check light. You'll have the oil light. You'll have the battery light. You'll have the temperature hot light. You'll have the ABS light. You'll have the airbag light. You'll have the handbrake light. You'll have the seatbelt light. And you'll have that other light there. I don't remember how I call it, but you also have the lights, dim light. Now, when you put the car in switch or in ignition mode, all the other lights will go off apart from the battery, handbrake, engine, and oil. When you start your car, the engine check light should go off. Actually, no car starts without the engine check light coming on. So the engine check light will go off. The oil light should go off almost immediately. Like you start, the oil goes and it goes off because the oil switch is down there. So oil was kuita. Okaka santi oil arinya. Aha. So if the oil switch does the oil lamp akabinika, if it does not go off, your car has a problem. Never drive a car that has the oil lamp still on. Tojivuganga. When you start your car and the oil lamp takes like 40 seconds, 1 minute to go off, your oil pump definitely has an issue, or akatimba teka isamu oil, or your service is overdue. If you start your car and the engine check light doesn't go off, trust me, chances are high you're not going to have power as you go. And when that doesn't, the engine check light doesn't go off, bikura bonnet or what socket has been unplugged. The time they did that, I had washed my engine room and I had unplugged the airflow meter. So I hadn't forgotten to plug it back on. And I drove for some time and I kept calling the mechanic and all that. And then I realized, okay, it was the airflow meter. I plugged it on and then the engine check light went off. If your battery light does not go off still, it might be a charging issue. If it blinks, it might be that it doesn't charge properly. You get. And if your seatbelt light doesn't go off, definitely you have not fastened your seatbelt and all that. Now, when you start your car and all the lights go off successfully, then you're good. If your ABS light does not go off, chances are high that your car will not even shift gears because the modern cars, the ABS and the gearbox work hand in hand. So then you do that. And when I start my car normally, I leave it running and I go back inside to pick my kids. And normally my car runs for like 5 minutes. Why? I want to start driving. It's already warmed up and I can drive at whatever speed I want. And then I'm good. And then those are the checks that I normally do. And when I'm driving, normally I listen to so many things. I also listen to bumps in the tires. You want to make sure that all your tires are in good condition. And apart from the bumps, I also listen to my suspension. So I want to make sure my suspension is okay. I also listen to the engine. I listen to the engine. Why do I listen to the engine? I want to make sure it sounds as normal as it should sound. I also listen to how the car changes gears, what the CVT Taylor gears are, but you want to feel the car shift, like from a higher gear to a lower gear and all that. And yeah, and then I'm good. And normally when you inspect your tires, make sure that your tires have all the misumari. Not crazy, make sure the nuts are all there, and then you'll be safe. You don't want to be driving and the tire goes before you, like the rear tire goes and it's off. So, Innocent Agomenitwe, good morning. Ken Samuel, the lookbook history can tell which year it was registered with URA, even if you put new digital number plates. And Ken Samuel, I can tell you because I inspect cars, majority of the people don't even have their logbooks now. and it costs money to actually get those details. Now, me, when I do inspection, I already have a verification system. I have my people. So I do verification. I get all the ownership. That's how we did not buy a Vanguard at 15, even when 15 was like the best offer. Ata abakazi ba Jenzoloza bagambwako bwaba akwagala agamba. But guys, one thing I don't want you guys to ignore. Omukazi bwaba akwagala akola buli kyoyagala. Bwaba takwagala ne respect ebeera ntono era ne bw'omugamba akola ebyo yagala tajja bikola. Amina Augustine Blues. Steering lock. First time we are Suramu, I struggled, Papa. Name my baby Sumurzo, it should be normal, like you do. It's a push to start people that. And by the way, guys, lock your steerings. It's one of the security systems. Lock your steerings. Stop of vimu moroka no genda. Bozikize moroka, nyenya steering, paka bwero kinga. Ochitegeera. Paka bwero kinga. Kale guys, kamba sibule. Wade wabuleda chikasana na imu zindekere. And that's that's what you do in the morning when you wake up. You don't want to be caught off guard. Actually, sometimes when I get to work, I open my hood if I have the time. Now I don't have the time. I already have people waiting for me. But if I have the time, I pop the hood and also check to see if there are any changes in the behavior of my engine. So guys, I've been researching the prices of hybrid batteries because I'm interested in buying the hybrid. But I've also been researching the prices of actual hybrids. The hybrids are too expensive, like 45 million shillings. That's right now. And I don't know. Maybe that's something we'll discuss, talk about sometime to come. You see the thing with the thing. You see one reason Rachi Americans are in debt and they are okay with debt is because debt, even if you get a car of like 400 million, you don't have to pay for it at once. So you keep financing it, and that makes things easy. And the thing with us Ugandans, no zimba mayumbo muntu nomusanga mu nyumba ya milioni 2 nga nayebo omunyenya botava milioni 5 is because we can finance the building of the house. Ozimba mpola mpola. When that is taken away, then it becomes a problem. I totally understand that. I know people that have inspected cars for and they are still okay. But I find that I don't think I would sleep very well knowing that my deadline was 3 months ago and I've not yet finished the installment of a car. And where I am right now, I would actually have to finance the hybrid vehicle. And I would not definitely pay 70% since I marako sente. And then I'm thinking, if my hybrid battery dies when I'm still paying the debt on that car, what happens then when I have to spend 7 million with replacing the battery? I think I'm in a banja. There are so many things that run through my mind, but that's probably a discussion of another day. And then as I'm also thinking of a hybrid, Mama Abanene Moroka Ajagala, if she wants this car, then tebawakana na mukazi. Nadalango mukazi taina apisa, tebawakana na ye. Mukazi wempisa mbigo wakana na ino ruana no kuruana. Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm to see me Eddie Jones in Fungabi with the markets today. King Daniels, Nakate Christine, we George Bob, MK Dental Hub, Funny Lifestyle, Mikel Yuji Paul, Sema VIP, Hussein, Nubuwat, Al Rahim Nation, Lucky Mose, Morad Kemomo VIP, SPK Driving School VIP, Augustine Blues, Mukundane Gideon, Joseph Bari Kudembe, Ozamo Santu, Ivan Kayuchi, Juma Ali Mula Mick, Billy Crown, Chairman Zach, Henry Modern Juice, Viola Namiro, Insedeko Starch, Travel Live Vlog, Kuteisa David, Luburu, Chris Fitness, Joseph Bari Kudembe, Ngabi with the markets today, Kutesa David, Malin Tokolov, Chris Da Vinci, Gilbert Amanya, Aine Joshman, Rama Charity Organization, Nathan 256, Salongo Subugagali Wango, Bernard, Funny Lifestyle, Nathan 256, Banangi. Sibamazeo Kabali Moses, Boss Dog, Nampija Julie, Tumuhimbisa Ivan, Billy Crown, Nakate Christine, Samanda Raymond, Drop Pin 2, Jay Sekaja, Solo Extra, Medad Kid, Stuart Maxwell, Innocent Agumainitwe, Mugumya Innocent, Stephen Omuria, Peace Joseph, Chairman Zach, my judger never put a radio in his Diana, but he is always listening to his car talking to him. Komunjara James, thank you very much, guys, for being part of the broadcast. I will see you tomorrow, Question Friday. Tomorrow. May the good Lord bless you.